Nihilistic materialist atheists will often say that human beings are meaning machines, that we create meaning out of nothing, create purpose out of thin air. But I was thinking on that recently, and the more I think about it, the more I think we're nothing without meaning. So it's the opposite. Maybe we do have a tendency to ascribe meaning to meaningless events and things. But the thing is, there's no point in discussing whether or not we assign meaning meaninglessly, because we are nothing without meaning. It's as necessary to human functioning as water and air. If we don't know why we're getting out of bed, if we don't know what we're building or what we're working on, whether it's leaving something better for our children or for our children's children, or building a business, helping people, doing charitable things, serving your religion, your God. If humans don't have these things, we become nihilistic and sad. We become people that our child selves would not want to hang out with. Meaning is something that every child understands, and it is true that a child will make it out of nowhere, right? If a child's playing in the backyard alone with her toys, they will create an entire story around these toys in their heads without sharing it with anybody, and they might never share it with anybody. But yet, right in front of them, a whole drama for the ages unfolds in their mind. So children come to meaning naturally. They come to it as naturally as they come to the desire to hug their parents, make friends, etc. Somewhere along the line, though, both in Western history and in our own lives, it seems there's this tendency to lose the ability to find meaning, and also the ability to tell meaning apart from meaninglessness. People have a great deal of skill at poking holes in every narrative of encouragement and hope, whether it's traditional religion, Christianity, or even every little positive bit of news that we get. It seems that there's just as many people waiting to take it down, shoot it down, tell you why it's actually false. You're wrong to hope. The problem with this is, and the problem with a society that rewards this kind of thinking and amplifies voices that speak these kinds of things, is that it's a self-defeating ideology. Look at the birth rates. Look at the depression rates. Look at the addiction rates. Look at the crime rates. We need meaning. And if we don't find meaning, what we'll find is a way to numb the fact that we don't have meaning. And this is as evident as anything ever could be. So if you're Mr. Fedora-wearing, British, cynical, nihilistic, atheist YouTuber number 5000, writing your next video essay about why people shouldn't have hope in anything, maybe stop and think for a second that just because you're as hopeless and sad as you are, does not mean you need to change the entire world around you to be just as hopeless and sad as you are. I think it's actually dreadful that maybe the most valuable thing in the universe, which is human hope, is constantly under attack by people who think that it is logical to despair, logical to believe in nothing. Where's the logic in that? What goal are we trying to achieve? It's like, you can picture an atheist looking at a bunch of religious people having fun, meeting to celebrate some holiday, to celebrate some story that they all believe in. They're all smiling and laughing, sharing in a dinner. Maybe they prayed before dinner. And the atheist thinks to himself, oh, I'm so much smarter than those idiots. I'm not wasting my time with all these religious rituals, all this useless gathering for things that ultimately will amount to nothing. When we die, we're both going to the same eternal void. Aren't I all the smarter for never ever having that kind of connection, community, hope, reason to get up? Aren't I a genius? No, you're just sad. Or maybe you've eked out some way of hiding from the sadness. Like Kierkegaard says, you will find a way, because if you don't find a way of running from that deep, deep sadness, at that ache for meaning, you'll jump off a building. And so instead, you consume. Whether it's consuming ideas, consuming media, consuming people's hope, but you're just going to consume. Because you can't fill the void, but you can at least take away the sensation of it. And if you're lucky, you'll die in some terrible accident before you run out of things to consume. And then you will have lived the perfect, enlightened, gentlemanly life of useless consumption and cynicism. So that's a bit of a tangent, but meaning is so important. Don't let anyone near your meaning. If you have a belief in something and that belief makes you a better person, helps you function better, have a better perspective on things, I would say look at the people who are speaking to you before you consider their words. Even the most famous nihilists, I wouldn't want to be them. Most often, if you look into their personal lives, they're not very happy people. Okay? I would rather be a poor Christian grandma with her family around her who just believes in her thing and does her thing than be Richard Dawkins, being heard by many and yet being so lost myself. So, guard your meaning, find meaning, and don't give up on meaning, because you could argue that the way that we search for it and the way that we hunger for it is in itself a proof of meaning. And you don't have to pry that apart too much. I could definitely dive into ontological proofs of divinity, or however you want to put that, whatever you want to call that thing that is greater than us. There are logical reasons to believe in meaning, but I would say just don't overvalue logic. Logic is a useful tool for measuring physical things, right? Or going through logical processes, but not everything in the human experience is logical, so it has its limitations. Science's whole quest to either find or not find God is hilarious, given that by definition God is supernatural, and science can only measure that which is within our natural or physical universe. So it's like literally giving the keys to your spiritual well-being to a madman who thinks that spirituality is for idiots, right? Why would you do that? Or just for he just has no ability to touch at it. It's the wrong person to go to. A scientist cannot tell you why you're here. They can't. There's no measure. There's no process. There's no element. It doesn't exist. So that's why meaning is so important. And that's why people who actually manage to help other people find meaning should be lifted up. They should be praised. Not the Richard Dawkins of the world. Anyone can sit around and be cynical. You see it on the internet all the time. If it was difficult to be cynical, the internet would be a lot less cynical. Everyone's cynical. It's like the default. You've achieved nothing. Somebody having hope and helping other people have hope, that is an achievement worthy of celebration. Without doubt. So, we are nothing without meaning. Thanks.